Hello friends and traders, welcome to my channel FinMarketView, your guide to smart market moves. Our channel provides technical analysis using charts, indicators and price action to help you navigate the stock market, forex, commodities and cryptocurrencies. Stay ahead of the market with clear chart driven analysis into actionable high probability insights. Friends and traders, please take a pause, look at the disclaimer. This is not a financial advice. Today agenda, I'm going to analyze the broad market overview on equities, futures, ETF, commodities, currencies and cryptos, and we'll also look into a couple of next week high volatility earning stocks. Alright, let's dive right into the charts. Here are the charts layout which I use primarily both swing and intraday trading. For all the swing trading, I look at the monthly, weekly, daily charts. For the intraday, any short-term opportunities, I look for the 4-hour and 1-hour time frames. Let's look into the equity market. SPX, S&P 500 index. It's a cash market index. And look at the monthly chart. Since last 2022 onwards, it's a massive uptrend both on monthly, weekly and the daily. Back to the daily time frames, this was a prior swing high on 6100, barely closed above, and then last week with the DeepSeek news we have a gap down and came to this 21 simple moving average testing, and then ever since it was last week whole slowly uptrending. And then Friday it came to the same resistance zone, which is 60-90 area, and it was sold off until like late in the evening. So here my thoughts. This is same picture on S&P futures too. S&P futures, ES futures have the same 6100, 6154 resistance area. It was a gap down on last week DeepSeek, and then it was a buying opportunity, and then it was on Friday again gap up to this resistance area 6105, 6154, and then we had a sell off on Friday, mild sell off back to this low 60-65 area. When you look at the SPY, the ETF, same thing. It went to the resistance on 607 area and it rejected. Price has been rejected, and then it was sold off to 600ish area, which is the levels are matching against the S&P cash index and also S&P futures, which is 60-60 area. So after Sunday evening, if S&P futures gap down to this area, and this is coincide with cash index on 960-970 area, which is a short-term buying opportunity to further move the price to back to 605 on SPY. But I'm more concerned on the 603 area. We have this lows are broken out, and then if any point price comes to this 600ish area, then I'll see a short term back to the 608 area. For any reason, if market collapse this price area 595, then definitely a long term short term opportunity to entry into the SPY calls, which is 585. So it's a buying opportunities on 585, and then it can ride all the way to the 610 back to resistance area. So that's pretty much on S&P, ES and SPY on next week. Let's look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq cash index, same thing. We have a massive uptrend on monthly, massive uptrend on the weekly, and then we have a daily time frame uptrend. But if you closely observe the Nasdaq cash index, the last 4 weeks is basically choppy market between the 20,000 area between and 22,000 area. Same thing on Monday, DeepSeek news, it gapped down to pretty much 1000 points on Nasdaq and then slowly upwards. And then Friday it came to the same resistance area and it was a sell off, mild sell off into this area. So based on the cash index, if I want to make an short term entry, I would like to enter the NDX options, which is 20,850 area, call options maybe, which is similar to Nasdaq futures. Nasdaq futures also have same thing. It went to the 21,950 area on Friday. It was gap up and then sold off to almost close to I think 600 points down. Nasdaq. Let's compare on QQQ. QQQ also chart pretty similar. It went on Friday, gap up on 530 area. It's a strong resistance because previously market was gap down, so this gap is covered technically, and then Friday it was a sell off. So on Sunday evening, if market gaps down to this area, which is 509 or 500ish area, then definitely it's a buy opportunity at a short term level, because next week we have few earnings, Amazon, Google. If at all, if the price reaches to this 540ish area, then we may breach, or it will have a strong resistance area on 535, and then we may collapse again little bit. But for now, these two areas on Nasdaq QQQ, which is 510 is a buying opportunity and 535 is the resistance area. And for any reason, if Nasdaq's breach this area, then it's a long-term entry, which is investor entry, which is a 500ish area. Drive back it, and if you make an entry on 500, then we expect the price back to a new high, which is 540. So both SPY and QQQ pretty much similar to these levels. And we'll move on to the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is a little more confirmation. Monthly uptrend, weekly uptrend, daily uptrend, and right now the price sitting into the resistance area on Friday. Friday it was a mild sell off, but still the price in this area. And right now it's still strong until it break the price below 44,000, close below on this intraday time frame chart. The price will still an uptrend. But if I want to, if you have a this area breached next week, then I look for an opportunity to make an entry here in 43,50 area, 43,600ish area. Let's compare the Dow Jones futures, E-mini Dow Jones futures. Same thing. It came to on Friday. It came to this big resistance area, and then it was sold off to little bit. But I see I have small area of resistance. New area showed up, and it's coincided with if both S&P, Nasdaq will gap down, then short term price I expect the price come back to this area 44,303 area on a temporary level to a bounce back to 45,000. And then diamond. So diamond right now it is basically a resistance right now, in the resistance right now. So we have few notable stocks next week on the Dow Jones, like McDonald's and some other stocks. If at all, if we have a bad revenue, then it may sell off further. Then we have an entry coming up in the Dow Jones DIA ETF, which is a 435 is a buy zone. Definitely I'll like to buy in this zone 435 and then move the strike price back to at least 440 area. So this is pretty close to the S&P futures, which is on this area, which is S&P futures is close to 43,840, the Dow Jones futures area. So then the diamond is collide with the 435, which is a strong support. Let's move on to the small cap Russell RUT. So RUT, we have an uptrend on both monthly and weekly, but last couple of weeks Russell was sold off, and then we have a retreat to all the way to this daily supply resistance, the sell zone. If the small caps have few earnings and if the market anything tank little bit, then I expect the price come back to this area on the Russell, which is 20 to 23, and E-mini Russell futures, which is the same area which I am looking, is this area 20 to 34. And let's move on to IWM ETF. I am looking at the buy entry on 220, so I'll definitely wait for a price to come back to this area from 226 to 219, which is about $7 below, and then look for IWM 220 call options and look for an opportunity to sell at least in this resistance area, which is sell zone 236 area. So these are the key price levels which I am looking at right now on both S&P, Nasdaq, and also Russell and Dow Jones DIA. We'll move on to the next equity markets, Japanese Nikkei 225 futures. If you see this Nikkei, it's a mess. Weekly is basically a range bound between 40 and 35, which is 35 area on a monthly and a weekly, and this consolidation between 40, the range bound between 40,000 to 35,000, something like that. So it's not a good sign. And German DAX futures, this is a good chart which I am saying a massive uptrend on monthly, massive uptrend on weekly, massive uptrend on daily. So just to join this uptrend on a daily basis, I am looking at this buy zone, which is 20,568. So to make an entry, to participate this entry, we could go with the DAX German ETF. So the same area which is under this area, which is 35. So basically a monthly uptrend, weekly uptrend, daily uptrend, and we'll pull back to this 35 area to further continuation back to 37 highs. So that is collide with FDAX futures on the 20,568 high probability area. Next, move on to the Nifty 50 index. So it was an uptrend Nifty on monthly basis, weekly basis, but the last couple of weeks it was a downtrend even on the weekly and the daily. So this is the current resistance is going on, but we have a strong support on this area. So the support area is 22,875 on Nifty, and then this supply has to be taken out in next couple of days or near some future next week. If we have a positive close until here 24,000 area, then I could, if you have a strong close on 24,000 area, then this is an official uptrend, and then we look back a reversal area in 23,000 area, and then as the new uptrend will start, and it will gonna go back to the price which is back to the highs, which is 26,000 resistance. But if that is on the upside, if the price doesn't go above, then it will go back to this, test this lows 22,000 support area, That's what I'm looking at the Nifty. So these are all pretty much all the equity markets: S&P, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, Russell, IWM, FDAX, and Nifty, and also Japanese Nikkei 225 futures. Let's move on to the bonds and commodities. Let's look at the US 10-year note futures. 10-year note futures as a massive monthly downtrend, because that means rates are going up, and weekly is a sideway, and the daily is we have this low tested out, and then we had a pullback into this resistance. And if I want to re-enter into this area again, not sure when it's gonna come, but if there is a definitely opportunity come, this is a good buy zone on the T-note futures, and which we can directly collide with the TLT 20-year Treasury bond ETF. So bond ETF is a monthly downtrend, and right now the month it's testing this monthly lows 87 area, 87 on a daily chart right now, testing this resistance area. So if I want to enter this TLT, I will look for a buy opportunity on the 85-ish area. I'll put some 85 puts, cash secured puts, or you could buy 85 calls for at least 90 days or 6 months duration of the call. So those are for the TLT bonds. Let's move on to commodities. Let's look at the crude oil futures. So crude oil, the monthly, it's a range bound between $94 a barrel to all the way to the $62 a barrel. And then similarly, same thing we have in a weekly sideways market from 65 to 80, and then daily we have this 80 to somewhere in the support area 67. But the interesting area which I am seeing right now is this area, the previous consolidation. So this area is this low, and then this was a high, and it was a compressed and then made a extremely volatile move to high to all the way 78. So definitely these high probability turning points are there, I can say here. And then near term supply on the resistance area on the crude oil, which is basically back to this previous level of supply, which is 77. So right now the price back into the close to the 21 EMA, and then if some days next week, if the dollar goes a little bit negative, and then it will be pressure on the commodities, so it may come to this 71 area. It's strong support and strong demand area on this one. So if I want to enter and use this opportunity in a ETF market, then I could buy a USO, United States Oil Fund. So this is right now is 78, but right now if you can wait this high probability opportunity, it is 75 level. So that's a good long-term buy for now. And then supply, I'm looking at 77 on the USO. And the ultra, which is UCO, same thing. It is collide with the crude oil futures, which is 27 level. Right now is 28. I mean, if you want, you can buy right now, but 27 is ideal to entry on UCO. And then the Gush, Direction Daily, S&P Oil and Gas Explorer. So this one, it's quite a nice chart. I can see on the daily it came to the 33 area resistance, and ever since it's just selling off based on the crude oil market. But if the price come back to this 26 area Gush, definitely a high probable buy opportunity and the key price level on crude oil. That's what I'm looking at based on the current market conditions on crude oil along with their ETFs. Move on to natural gas. Natural gas is previously this weekly uptrend and coming back to retest of these lows. So if I want to re-enter this market, pretty much somewhere on this area, It's pretty close, similar to crude oil. Some more sell off little bit, and then this area, and then the ETF is UNG, natural gas fund, so which is colliding with this zone, which is 1476, which I'm looking as a buy opportunity. And then if the price comes to here and then buy opportunity, the target should be the previous high, which is this area, which is 19ish area. So those are the updates for the natural gas. Move on to gold. So gold futures, it's a monthly uptrend, weekly uptrend, daily uptrend, and recently last week we have this swing high, key swing high 2800 level closed completely, and there is no resistance for the gold market honestly. So just join the trend of the gold, and the next trend I would like to join is here, basically on this 2700, 2778, which is a this level is also coincide with the 21 EMA, which is most traders look into this metric. And if you want to take this opportunity on the GLD ETF, this was sometimes lags on the gold futures market because of the expense ratio is high, but definitely if you want to make a long term entry, this 250 249 ish area is a good opportunity for the gold. And then if you want to participate on the bull 3x or 2x, so NUGT is the gold miners index. This has two resistances on the upside, 49 50 area, but right now the gold is selling off a little bit. If the gold is coming to this area on 2700ish area, and then if the price come to NUGT nugget on to this 4300ish area, which is 43 area, close to basically close to this area, actually 40ish area I would say, yeah, 40 area, then I will definitely is a buy opportunity. Then the resistance I'm looking at is basically 56 sell zone on this. If you ever enter the 40ish area, then look for an opportunity to sell on 52, because this NUGT and GLD are purely depends on the spot gold futures market. Alright, we'll move on to silver futures. Silver futures, right now the price is in this resistance area right now, and then if you want to enter this market, it's not a good time, but definitely if you want to enter this market and wait for this low level, which is 30 area, then we look into the SLV ETF. SLV same thing, on a resistance. On a resistance we have this level right now, which is market right now is peg 28, but if you want to re-enter this market for SLV, I'll wait for at least 26 area, which is a strong support area. Move on to platinum futures. We have a massive last couple of days, it was a big institutional investment looks like, but I see that a new area is formed, a new area of interest, which is a buy opportunity if anytime it pull backs to this area, this entire area, because this area broke this high and cleared out this major resistance, and now back to this resistance is also is a key area. So if ever price come backs to sell off to, I mean, platinum have a tendency to gap up and also sell off it just like that. If you see the clearly, we have a continuous 3 weeks upside and then 3 weeks downside. So if ever look for platinum ETFs. Copper futures, the last commodity, it's a massive weekly sideways between 4.8 to 4.1. So if I want to enter anything on the copper, maybe on any options market I will look into this area, which is 4.8. These are high probability entry points, where the big institutional large investors, trying to make an eye and put the heavy money on these orders. So those are the updates for the bonds and commodities. We'll move on to currencies. So the main currency which I focus is on the US dollar index futures. Pretty much this dollar index is drives many other currencies, cryptocurrencies, futures, and also some sort of the bonds and equity relation also. So on the US dollar, let's talk about few minutes here. On a monthly chart, right now I see this is a resistance area, which is a sell zone, which is a 110ish area, and the recent support area come from this area. That's a recent monthly support. And then on a weekly we have a massive uptrend going on, and it came to this daily demand, which is daily support area, which is 106 area. And then I see a small resistance 109. It may breach it or it may not breach it, but if it will test it and then come back to test this low again, 107. But I see the dollar index have a strong uptrend, and it will potentially reach back to 112 area, which I am seeing. So it's a strong uptrend on monthly, weekly, daily, and it can reach potentially from at this price point 108 to all the way to 112 area. That's what I'm looking. I don't see anything even in the intraday charts. 4 hour, 1 hour, I still see a lot of the zones are tested and no clear on direction. But this is a like short-term entry, short-term sell-off, short-term short on this one on each area. But I think this is a very short-term. But I'm looking long on the dollar, at least until 112ish area. Let's move on to a few more currencies. Euro futures. It's Euro futures is a dollar inverse. So since the dollar is an uptrend, obviously I'm expecting euro is a downtrend. That's exactly what's happening last couple of weeks on the euro. On a weekly and a monthly, candles red, 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 and also the daily time frame also red. But previously now they came to this resistance area, and then it is just selling off. But this area this area is closely related to the dollar index, this supply, this resistance area. So it's basically, I'm telling, it's a very short term. So right now the price will collide between this 108 to 108 to 105 area, basically between these two areas. And then once these levels resistance is tested out completely, then at some point I expect this price breach out to the 110ish area. So which is on a euro futures, I'm gonna break down this area, make another low. So I'm expecting on a euro, which is on at some point this again same level invert to US dollar, which is 1 euro level, basically invert to US dollar. Back to British pound. British pound, same thing, similar structures as dollar inverted, a massive downtrend weekly, monthly, daily. These prior swing highs keep honoring, it's a clear cut, and then you see again same thing, we'll have a small pullback to this area, and once dollar have again momentum to the upside, again these currencies will pull down, basically euro, British, and Australian dollar, everything goes back to the another lower lows. So those are the currency futures. Let's talk about the cryptos now. Cryptos, first thing we'll talk about the Bitcoin futures. This is what everyone is recently looking to this. So we have a massive uptrend since 24 last year all the way back to 110ish area. So right now, in last couple of weeks, it's a range bound market for the Bitcoin. So the highest point is 110, and then the lowest point is 90. But it's keep battling between 99 area and then 110 area. If ever price comes to 90, it's an opportunity buy for short term to sell it to 110ish area or above. If this 110 area is very strong for time being, then if at all the price breaks 89 area, then the long term opportunity on this weekly level, which is 74 handle 74,000, but which I'm not anticipating or break off right now. It's more of a upside on the Bitcoin futures. Same thing, same structure I can see on the Bitcoin US dollar cash index, which is on the this one same level 90 to 110ish area for now. There is no direction on Bitcoin right now. It just range bound between 90 to all the way 110ish area. If it breach 110, if it is breach 110, it's a again bull market for Bitcoin. God knows where it is gonna end. But if it breaks the 90s area, then the price of probability comes to the 75 area. That's what I'm looking here. So that's about on the Bitcoin. And then Ethereum futures. Ethereum have again same thing. It has a monthly resistance of 4,000, and then it has a weekly resistance and a monthly resistance of 2,800 ish area. So right now price is in 33.46, but on a daily time frame, if the price reach to 2,800, it's a buy opportunity in Ethereum to sell back to 4,000. That's on Ethereum futures. Same thing on the cash index Ethereum US dollars. I am looking at right now the cash index is 33115 as of right now. You see all the trading happen in the middle, but the high probability entry at least is this 2600ish area. Something 2600 is a very high probability. This is where the big massive uptrend started, and this is basically pull back to this level and then make another high to 34,000ish area. So that's on Ethereum chart. Move on to Solana. Solana, it's a big mess in the monthly. Recently, right now Solana is a range bound on a monthly, weekly, but on the daily I can see there is a I don't see any candidate close above on this prior swing high, which is 265, which rarely closed. So but right now it did reach this support area 215ish area. It's a good opportunity buy for the short term, and then if ever price held this area, then I will look for the buy sell opportunity on the 250 area back to this highs. That's pretty much Solana. Then our XRP USD. XRP again, it's a small token, especially on the last year. Last few months suddenly spiked up on the monthly chart, weekly chart, and the daily chart. So it's a day right now it shows a daily clearly uptrend market. So if I want to re-enter the market on XRP USD, I will wait for 255 at least, the high probability entries, and then just hold on to this, because I'm expecting to make a new high after touching down 255 to back to at least 3.6 or at least $4 handle. Dogecoin, same thing. A lot of cluster of trading happening right now last couple of weeks, entire this cluster. So there is, if you want to re-enter the market, let's wait for the price come back to this 0.22 area, which I am looking. It's a high probability entry. And then if ever the price comes to this area, then I'm looking to sell opportunity here, at least the previous high to this level, because this Dogecoin tend to move a lot of volatility in either directions. But we have a plan. If the price comes to this area is 0.22, I'm a buyer on this market, and drive all the way to at least sell half in this area, and then look for another sell in this another upper zone, if you're looking for a short-term move on these levels. And then Litecoin USD, it's a complete sideways market, the high range 139 to back to 195 area. So if you want to enter this market, definitely I'll wait for at least these lows to be tested out, which is 88 or 90 area. Right now price 120. So again, these levels collide with the Bitcoin. Assuming Bitcoin, if Bitcoin comes to the 90s, the low end of support area, then I expect Litecoin little bit comes to this 88, 90 low end of area suddenly. So it's a buy opportunity. So these are all the futures cryptocurrencies, and let's talk about couple of ETFs. Those holds the market. So GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Right now price is 80. So buying opportunity, I am looking at 68.56, which is this low end of spectrum, high probability, because it has the same chart as Bitcoin Trust. Mara Holdings, right now 1834. The high probability is 1475, which is this area. It's a long-term area. This is where the price happened all the way to the weekly to 13 before pushed down to this area. So it's a retesting to this zone, and Mara is a long-term investor entry on 1475. Not only short-term trading, but definitely we can make an entry on 1475 and back to all the way to 30s or above 50 range at some point future. IBIT, iShares Bitcoin Trust, same thing, similar to the Bitcoin chart, which is 51. I'm looking at 51 area. This is area which I'm interested to buy on these coins. Riot Platforms, right now is on the side. It's pretty. If you see the daily chart is pretty choppy sideways from high end of 14 spectrum, low end of 10. But I would definitely, this area is interested below these lows. Is a trap area which is on this one, which is 10 and 875, which is a good opportunity to buy. And then if ever we make an entry on 810, then this is a area which we would like to sell on at least 15 or the longer. Another chart, Coinbase Global. Coinbase have again it's a mix of feelings on this chart. Basically we have this weekly sell-off, and then it came to this daily support area, and then it held to 55, held, and then back to this resistance 331. So Coinbase earnings have on 13th February. So if ever it will gap down the market, definitely this 250 area is a buy opportunity. Then if ever it gaps up to 350 area, it's actually this area basically on a monthly level, which is under this one. Yeah, so definitely if it has a good earnings, I'm expecting this price push to the 3, at least the 326 first and then 350 next. If the price gaps down to 250, it's an opportunity entry again. BTCO, Invesco Galaxy Bitcoin ETF. It's similar to Bitcoin ETF, other ETFs, same entry, same area. Which I'm looking is 90ish area, which is 90, 80, and 85, 66. Bitwise, same thing. I'm looking at the 49ish area. These areas all collide with this low end spectrum of the probability entries, which is pretty much all the crypto ETFs are derived from the Bitcoin futures and also Bitcoin cash index US dollar. So but these are all pretty much holding the key price levels on these markets. We'll move on to the sector ETFs one by one. XLK, technology sector, monthly uptrend, weekly uptrend, daily chop. We see the lot of sideway market. Right now the price is 230, but 222, 216 area is a good support zone to entry into the this XLK market, which is a sector market. Probably we could buy some 220 in the money, deep in the money calls when the price reaches here, but well, we'll see how the earnings play in this market. XLV healthcare. Recently, healthcare is little upwards. It tried to breach this level, this area of resistance came. So just we got a sold off the last 3 days, but I am little bullish on XLV. If the price come back to this 140 zone, definitely look for buy opportunities right out the stock, or you could buy deep in the money 140 option. So the price target is at least this highs to 155 on XLV, which I am looking. This is right now is a temporary pause, and if at all, if the market pull back to this area, is very good opportunity entry again. Deep in the money calls on 140ish, and then we subsequently push the price to at least 155, which I am looking. XLF finance sector, we made a new high, and the supply zone is broken, resistance is broken on the daily level, and this entire trend started at this level, basically the 14ish area. So definitely I want to pull back in this deep pullback, because this is where the daily swing low started and then made a new high. So definitely 48, 47, this area is a good entry when it comes back. XLP consumer sector, these are the closest key price levels. Right now the price is 78. I'm looking at the 77, 76 buy zone, and then 82, 85 sell zone. XLC communication sector, this is a massive uptrend, and then it just barely breached the new high. So if I want to re-enter the market, I would like to wait for a little sell-off on the XLC, and then wait for a 97 buy or opportunity in the future to make a new high, another trend. XLY consumer discretionary, it just hit this zone of resistance, which is 237 240 area, and definitely this is the closest support based on the chart suggestion, 217. XLU utilities, right now this price is in the middle of the zone, nowhere 77. Definitely I would like to see short-term pullback to 74 area to make a re-entry into this market to push the price to 82. So right in the back in the middle. XME metals and mining, it was sell off last couple of days, and it was a little retracement back to this 21 EMA and 50 EMA, and then ever since selling off a little bit. But if I want to look an opportunity to re-enter this market, definitely 55ish area, 55 area is a buy entry. Further, if you have a good entry at 55, look for long-term target on 68 on this zone. So it's a good entry. XLI industrial sector, it was a gap down on Dow Jones on Friday a little bit, so that's why we have this gap is not covered. But the industrial, I don't like the chart because it broke this low on a daily time frame, broke this low. So basically we made a higher lower high, lower low, then eventually price may come back to this 125. That's where the support zone on industrial. Energies, right now the price is 87. This is XLE little closely aligned with the crude oil market also, which I briefly given the crude oil level. If the crude oil level comes to the 70s, then obviously XLE comes to 85 is a good opportunity for the buy entry for XLE. At least on the short term, if we make an X85 zone good entry, then at least go for 95 is target, short term target at least I would say. XLRE real estate, we had a brief sell-off before and then came to this support area, and then ever since made a new high on broken this cluster of trading, and then ever since last couple of days it's nowhere. So wait for an opportunity to re-enter this market. XLRE maybe 40ish area. If at all price comes to this 40ish area, make an entry, and then look for a strong resistance area on 40 to 43. That's a target. If you ever have an entry in 40, look for target on 42 or 44. XHB home builders, which is same thing, right middle of the chart. This is the strongest support which I am seeing, 100, but you also have a strong resistance on 118 120 levels on a daily time frame, because it was these levels are coming from confluence to weekly and monthly levels. So XHB, here, those are the key levels. The last one is again XOP. XOP is similar to the XLE and the crude oil market. If ever at all crude oil comes to 70s, then I'm looking at this buy zone 129ish area as a buy entry for XOP, and then move the gap to little upper range 144. So those are pretty much for all the sector ETFs. I will go couple more charts on the next week earnings. So next week couple of earnings I have, so I will go couple of charts. Let's start with PLTR. So these are the trade ideas I have for next week earnings. So PLTR little nicely uptrend, and it was a sell-off on last month, and then again made this support zone on 65, and then right now back to this minor support area. So PLTR earnings on Monday after close. So here is the trade idea. It's earnings play, and it's on option side. So since this 69 is a good support area, then we could look at the option for PLTR options. We could sell 65 puts and then buy 60 puts, which is this area. And right now, based on the current premium calculations, 29, but most likely this will be increased little bit on the Monday. So I'm looking for at least 50 cents for the spread, because this have a good IV rank, which is a 90. Volatility is high, so premiums are high, and POP is 93%, which is probability of profit is 90%. So POP is percentage good, high volatility good, and we are selling this spread on the very close to the strong support area. So this is a high probability trade idea. So you could look for one contract. So basically it's when you take a one contract and sell 65 buy 60, which is basically the max loss is 470. I mean, if it is like, for example, if it is like 50 cents, then the max loss is 450 if it breaches. But if, as long as price stays above 69 by before February 7 expiration, you make $50. So that's for one contract. I know it's on the dollar level lower, but if you can take the same risk for 10 contracts for 50 cents, which is $500, as long as probability is above, so you make $500. So just an analogy. It's all risk versus reward. It's different people have different account sizes, but it's all about the trading area is matter. That's what I'm looking here. So that's for the PLTR. Let's go to the PayPal. PayPal have earnings again, same thing on Tuesday. So PayPal have a massive uptrend last couple of months. Current price is 88, and nearest the best support zone is 80ish area, and the supply is 96 and 103. So if the market comes back little bit Monday, then you could make a trade which is same kind of earning play on Monday. So look for sell put 80 and then buy 75, and this has a good probability of profit 86%. I implied volatility 60%. Expected move is $6. So options are already marketed for PayPal February 7, which is $6.80. So market makers already expected this stock can go either 90s or this can go probably 80s, and this 80 is again high probability support, and 96 above is high probability resistance. But I'm looking for this option. So this option I have a good premium contract right now. Look for PayPal, sell 80, buy 75, look for 50 cents. Then you max risk is 48. Max risk means if the price breach below 75, which is very rare. Not in the rare, but we are talking about the probabilities here. So probabilities on the charts, probability on the option premium, probability on the expected move, and probability on the numbers which relate to the current market price. Then we'll move on to the next chart. Next day, AMD. AMD Advanced Micro Devices. Right now the market price is 115. I don't have any short term very close to the market 115, but I have a good support and demand zones close to the current price is 100ish area, which is this one 100, and then this 137 is a support area. So AMD implied volatility, AMD IV rank is 70, which is high volatility. And what I'm looking is basically if the market stays above here, so you could sell 100 put and then buy 95 put, which is a put credit spread, and look for at least 50 cents premium. And based on the options chart, I see the expected movies at $10 a piece, $10 by February 7th. So if earnings on Tuesday, if the market gap down $10, then comes to the 110, 111 or 100. This is exact this area. So this is a good opportunity for long-term buy also. You could buy long-term equity options on AMD, $100 buy call options, probably 6 months, 9 months down the line. Or you could play this another earnings play, look for short-term February 7 expiration, look for sell 100 and buy 95 put credit spread for at least 50 cents premium collected. And this probability of profit is 90%. If earnings are good, then it may gaps up to 137. Then you can buy back the premium to maybe 5 cents. So it's basically 45 cents profit. So that's on the AMD charts. Earnings play. Let's move on to another one, Snap. Snap earnings are on Tuesday, February 4th. Right now the market price is 11. If at all any gap down within the next couple of days, maybe Monday or Tuesday gap down, then this long-term entry $10 is really a good entry. And then definitely the resistance on this area is these areas, basically 13. So it's a small risk $10 stock, which is about, but $10 entry is a high probability entry zone, and look to sell for long-term $13 area sell zone. Next, MSTR, MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy, they are keep buying Bitcoin, so the market price is elevated and then it got sold off. Right now it's in the middle of the cluster of the trading 334. So based on the current price, nearest support is below this low, which is 280 area. This is where I am looking, and then the sell off, the strong resistance is 425, which is 475 area. So their earnings on 5th February. So yeah, if I am bullish on this stock, but I don't want it right now, but definitely I'll wait for it will gap down to this area, then look for long-term 275 deep in the money calls like 90 days or 180 days expiration to drive back to the price at least this 375 400ish area. So that's what I'm looking on. MSTR is a buy zone. Amazon massive uptrend last couple of months, and right now the stock is 237. If anything on earnings on Thursday, if it gaps down it's 220 is deep in the money buy option. That's it. There is nothing this textbook effort. It broke this new swing high, retest, make an entry, make a further new high to 250 on a long term approach. Another trade, EA, Electronic Arts. This chart is interesting to me because it was a gap down on last couple of days, actually last week. So right now the it is 122. Their earnings on February 4th, which is Tuesday. So based on this chart, I have this strong support area on 115. So for the, if you look at the EA, for the EA, the IV rank, implied volatility rank, is 83, which is a very high. So the premiums are high. And the trade idea is we are looking at 110. As long as price stays above 110, we make money. So that's what the trade idea. Put credit spread, sell 110 and buy 105, which is a $5 spread, and look for at least 40 cents premium per contract. So probability profit is 98%. So this is very high, and based on the support and based on the probability of profit and based on the IV crush, and then expected move is only like $7. So if after the earnings we are expecting this price back to this, at least this 130 or 135 levels to cover this gap, at least some half retracement. So definitely this is a good entry. If you are aggressive on this trade, you could go a little bit further, like sell 115, buy 110, then you get 52 cents right now, but on Monday it may go to like 60-75 cents. So it's high probability. So that's another trade. Let's move on to another one, Disney. So Disney, it's a big choppy market, but based on recent highs and lows, this is where I'm looking near term support 101 area, and then the near term resistance 120 area, and the option chart suggests the expected move plus or minus $9, which is 139 means this area, and then 113 plus to 120 area. But right now this 113 close to 120 area. So assuming if earnings are good, which is on Wednesday, so this trade is basically wait for the earnings, after the earnings, and wait for the market open. If at all earnings are good and good to go, then it will gap up to this 120 area. And then what we're looking at trade idea is expiration is February 21. Look for $25 premium per contract, call credit spread. So we're gonna sell 125 and then buy 130 call. Probability profit is 76%, IV is 65. So on the Disney, we're looking for 125 and 130. So we're looking for February 21, sell 120, deep in the money. Maybe we could buy sell like that, yeah, sell 125 and buy 130. Right now he's offering 62 cents, but if the price gaps up to 120 area, this premium becomes at least $50 or $35 when the market is full swing. Then usually the analogy is it's a good the strong resistance area, and whoever bought from here these lows and last couple of days their calls, so everyone waiting for earnings, so then everyone want to sell this, so it's basically a competition to sell is more on this area. So that's why the high probability on the sell side versus on the buy side. So that's why traded is earning play on wait for earnings to be released and then look for an opportunity to enter the Disney and sell call credit spread. So that's on Disney. And Google, Alphabet, my take is basically last couple of days it's a cluster of trading. I don't have anything. If I want to re-enter the market, I just wait for these lows, which is 188 area. That's it. There is nothing. This is closely aligned with 50 SMA and 200 SMA uptrend going on, made a new high, breached this previous swing high on the daily. So this 187 is a good handle to buy back if it is come back. If you're aggressive, you can still make an entry somewhere this area, close to the mean area 197, back to at least 216 215 area. So it's a clear uptrend. Google, there is no stopping here on the price point level. Okay, one last chart, UBS. UBS again, it's a financial client. It's a massive uptrend, broke prior swing highs 33 here, 33 here. So we're just looking for an opportunity. The UBS earnings on Tuesday, February 4. So see if any gap down or anything, 33 is still a buy entry, and look for sell off on 36. So that's pretty much top stocks for the next week earnings. So just to recap, so we covered so far all the equity markets: SPX, Nasdaq, QQQ, Dow Jones, Russell, Nikkei, Nifty, FDAX. We also covered the bonds, we covered crude oil, we covered gold futures, we covered crypto, we covered sector ETFs, and we also covered for the next week a couple of trading ideas, earning stocks, high IV stocks. So that's pretty much back to S&P. I'm looking at the area of importance. If any gap down, looking for opportunity on 5960 or SPY, this 595 and 585 critical levels. So that's pretty much my thoughts sharing with you, friends. Thank you all to share my thoughts on the markets. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss my any market future updates. Also drop a comment below if you have any questions or want me to cover any specific trading strategy or the stock in the next week video. Until then, trade safe, stay fit. Bye guys.